Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If you missed yesterday's video, oh my gosh, you need to go back and watch it. It was a channeling, Jesus, channeled. Why am I having a hard time saying this? I channeled Jesus yesterday. Anyway, it was, he always is amazing. You can't expect anything less of him. So go back and watch that video. I will post the link below. So anyway, so go ahead and like this one, subscribe to my channel, because things are breaking loose. I'm going to start, I really feel like Jesus wants to come through more. So I'm going to start channeling him more. And I know people, you get confused. I get confused. It's like, okay, so if Jesus was Christ consciousness, am I channeling Christ consciousness, or am I channeling Jesus, or it's all the same? And I hear it's actually the higher version of you, because we're all one. It's the expression, the Christ consciousness being expressed through the embodiment of Jesus, which in essence, the message is for everyone, because everything, it's not, he's not talking to a specific, he's not just talking to me, he's talking to all of us. And everything that's come through has been like a collective universal message that helps everybody. So share my videos, because help it get out to more people, because there are people that are searching for information. They're searching for the truth. They're searching for, you know what, I know there's more to this than what we've been taught. I mean, you were probably there. God knows I was there. My husband was there. It's like, until you come across people like you and I, the normal population is, and I say normal, it's not, I guess it's not normal, but the old paradigm, the people that are looking for answers don't know where the answers are. So help this channel grow, help this message get out, so it can help people like that that are looking find answers. But what I had today, the message I had today was funny. It was like, I was getting ready, and this message came through of, think back, because things are coming up from your past. You may realize it, you may not. If you are going about your day and all of a sudden a thought comes up of something that happened in your past, it's coming up for a reason. And sometimes, and like this, what came up today for me today, it was more of a kind of like a confirmation that I'm heading in the right direction. But what came up for me, I'm going to share the transformation. So if you're in this place, you realize it, you know, because I didn't know it until I knew it. Okay. If that makes any sense. So yes, I've been married a couple of times, a few times. This is number 4. Anyway, some of us, you know, just enjoy the journey. So I thought back to, or I was reminded of my first couple of husbands. I didn't know who I was. And I thought to the time where I was single between marriages, every time I expanded. It's like, and I don't want this to sound bad, but I don't know how else to put it. It's like each marriage was a stepping stone to the next. I got better each time, which you're supposed to. You're not supposed to repeat the same issues. You're supposed to learn from it and move on. So each time I got divorced and was single, because after my first husband and I had my daughter, so I was a single mom. Each of those times I found more of who I was because I wasn't trying to be what they wanted. I didn't know who I was. I was trying to fill a void with them. But when there wasn't somebody to fill that void, I started realizing what I enjoyed doing. You know, and I thought what started the whole thing was thinking back to, okay, would it have been better to stay with my first husband? And I know you're not supposed to go back and second guess, but everything happens for a reason, right? So if I had stayed with my first husband, he was, God bless him, he was one of these people. He and I were like night and day. I go, I do. He was a sit, watch TV, read a book. Not me. I'd rather slit my wrist with a butter knife than sit and watch TV or sit and read a bunch of books. But that was him. So we were completely separate. When we parted, I had my daughter. We traveled, we went places, we did things. And I remember when he and I were married, we took a cruise, but he was like a stick in the mud. All he wanted to do was sit by the pool and read a book. I wanted to go explore and go do things. And I thought about it, and this isn't to complain. This is to tell you. So if you're here and you don't realize it, it's to help you see it. Because if I had stayed with him, my daughter would not have had the experiences that she had. Growing up, she got to travel. She got to see, because even when I wasn't with him, when I was single, I took her on 2 cruises. I took her hiking. We traveled. We went to see different places. So I gave her life experiences. Now, that may not be your thing. That may not be your thing. My point is, it took us being together to have my daughter. It took being apart for me to start seeing, because I moved out of my parents' house and moved in with him. So I didn't have time to figure out what I enjoyed doing. I mean, if you've followed me for a while, I've said this before. My first boyfriend was in kindergarten. I always had somebody. So I never really got to see who I was. And I'm not judging that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just how I was. So each time I broke away from somebody, I got to see who I was. After my second husband and I split. Now, he was more of a doer, but I wasn't with him very long. So again, I started seeing what I enjoyed doing. Because I will tell you, people would say, well, what do you like to do for fun? What are your hobbies? I had no idea. Literally, I would sit there and think, I don't know. Because I really had no idea. Because I morphed into whatever my husband was. I didn't have my own friends. I took on his friends. I still don't have my own friends. I have one friend and she's in South Africa, of which I've never met her in person. She and I talk every day. on WhatsApp. She is here. She's one of the only people I know, other than probably my husband now. And I told her, I said, you are the only person I know that if I sent you a message and said I had the most amazing conversation with my refrigerator, you would not think I had lost my brain. You'd be like, that's too cool. Because she and I are on different paths, but we're kind of the same. We don't judge each other. She's always there when I'm having a bad day, when I'm having a bad whatever. If I'm trying to figure shit out, she's always there in a non-judgmental place, and I'm always there for her. Always. So with words of wisdom or things that looking at it from a different perspective or whatever. Anyway, back to my point. Everything happens for a reason. Now I know who I am. I had to get to this point before this husband came in. And now I don't squelch who I am. Because if I had an interest before, I always put it on the back burner. I morphed into whatever my husband was, whatever his likes were. I'm not saying I didn't like what he liked, but I never had my own interests. Now, I have my own interests. I do my YouTubes. I do resin work or epoxy work. That's not something my husband does. If I feel like just doing artsy-fartsy stuff, I do artsy-fartsy stuff. Whether he does it or not, and he doesn't. But we do things together. We both ride motorcycles. But I can hop on mine at any point in time and take off with or without him. I do my own thing, but I also do things with him because I know now who I am and what I enjoy. And I can tell you what I enjoy. So it took each one of those experiences, and I'm not telling you have to go get married 4 times, multiple times. If you're happy in your relationship, stay with it. If you're not, if it's not serving you anymore, you need to make that change. But what I'm saying, again, I'm not here to tell you whether to stay or go from your relationship. You need to come from a place of being complete yourself. You need to figure out what it is that's going to fill your cup, because nobody else will ever be able to fill that cup. It didn't. All 3 of my prior husbands were completely different people. All 4 of my husbands have been completely different people. None of them could have filled my cup. None of them could have made me feel complete. Only I can make me feel complete. They can compliment me, yes, and I can compliment them, but they cannot. Nobody can complete you but you. And like I said, I look back and it's like, don't question, don't judge the past. Because, other people can look at me and go, and I've had people say, are you never happy? And no, I was not before. I never was happy. Because I'm one of those people And if you are not like this, that's okay. There's no judgment. If you are like this, there is no judgment. I'm not you cannot, do not contain me in a box. I was told one time I'm like a butterfly. I am free. I'm not to be contained in a box. It's like I land for a while and then I move again and I move again. But when you think about it, every time that butterfly lands, it's a new experience. It's a new flower. It's a new position on that flower. They I guess, suck the nectar out of that position, and then they move, and so they're getting the sweetness. Oh my God, this is beautiful. I'm like, thank you. They're getting the sweetness out of where they are. That's what we're here for. They don't land on the flower and go, oh God, this is an ugly flower. If it's a dead flower, they're not going to land on it in the first place. If it looks appealing, they land on it and they get the sweetness out of it. And not by draining the flower. That's what the flower is there for. Is to provide the pollen, the nectar, or whatever butterflies get. That is where my life has been. I have landed on many flowers. A job? I keep a job for 3 to 5 years. And I'm moving to another job, something better, something completely different. Houses? I have moved more times in my lifetime. I mean, when I was a kid, obviously I didn't move that much because I was with my parents. My first husband and I, we were married 7 years. Every single year we moved. I'm not kidding you. And then since then, it's like every 3 to 5 years. My last husband, I moved into his house. I sold my house and moved into his house. We were there. We were married almost 15 years in that same house. And oh my God, I thought I was going to die. Even though we traveled, we did things. I didn't want to stay in that house. I wanted to move. He wanted to stay put because he had been born and raised right next door and he didn't want to leave. So I left. So anyway, this house, my last house, when I left him, I was only in for 11 months and then I moved here. Now here, March will be 6 years. So I'm breaking a record of my own, not of my choice. It's just not time to move yet. Husbands, I just told you I've had 4. And in between there, I had boyfriends. Except for when I left my last husband, I had 4 years where I was completely by myself. No boyfriend, no husband, no nothing. But it helped me grow. It was what I needed to figure out who the heck I was. So don't let anybody judge you. I do not care who you are. Do not judge yourself and do not let anybody else judge you. If you are one of these people that are not, I don't want to say you're never settled. You're just always moving to get new experiences. You get the sweetness from where you are, and then you move to the next place, the next relationship, the next job, the next whatever. You take, Okay, that was the image I just got. That butterfly does not land on the flower and then spit the nectar back out to move to the next flower. They take it with them. They take the sweetness with them. You are supposed to take the lessons, take the sweetness from the experience with you the next time you move to the next flower, the next whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. Learn from each thing, grow from each thing, each place, each experience, grow from it. Don't go back and judge. You can, it's, again, the butterfly can land on a flower and go, okay, yeah, I'm really not a fan of this nectar. Or whatever a butterfly gets, I don't know. It's a mood issue. Whatever the butterfly gets from that flower, it might not enjoy it. So it knows, okay, I don't want that type of flower again. I choose a different flower. But you wouldn't know that if you hadn't landed on that flower. That's you. You are in a relationship, you are in a job, and you know whether you like it or not. You can choose to stay there and be miserable or change. I can tell you the butterfly's not going to stay on that flower if it's not enjoying the nectar. So, but don't judge it. It's just an experience. You are here to have all the experiences you want. Some will be pleasant, some not so much. Don't judge it. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Accept what comes as it comes. And know that everything happens for a reason. Every experience is meant to be. It's your choice on how you look at it. You can go back, and I could go back and look at my life and go, oh my God, gee, I'm never happy. I can't find anybody to make me happy. I've been married 4 times. What did I do to my daughter? No. I can't go back and change it. I can't go back and fix it. Let it go. My daughter is perfectly fine. She got to have experiences that she would not have had if I had stayed with my first husband. And we argued a lot. I told him, I said, no, I'm not going to, because he was one of these, we need to stay together for her. And I said, no, we need to be apart for her. Because she needs to see what a relationship is supposed to be. And it's not supposed to be arguing all the time. And it's not supposed to be you go your way and she and I go a different way. And then we come home and argue. That's not what a relationship is supposed to be. So don't go back and things will come up. You will have memories. I mean, and especially recently, a lot of past stuff is coming up. It's just memories. Let it go. You can sit and, I can look at those relationships and question. Most of them I question, why was I there? But Now I'm a different person. I would not be in any one of those relationships now if you paid me. But I learned from it. I grew from it. They all gave me experiences that I carried into the next one. Or experiences that I realized I choose not to have this again. I don't like this flower. You don't know until you try something. It's like a job. I remember when I opened my bakery, I baked at home for a while. My last husband, he told me, he said, before we open a shop, bake at home for a while to make sure this is really what you like to do. Because when you have orders, it's not going to be the same as you just going in the kitchen whenever you feel like it and baking. You're going to have demands. You're going to have to bake. You're going to have to decorate to fulfill orders, which is smart. And I realized that this is what I really truly enjoyed doing. So then I opened my shop. Now, that's not my passion. My passion has changed. My interests have changed. But I learned from it. I grew from it. I enjoyed I enjoyed the process. I got to live my passion. And now I'm doing the same thing. It's just a different passion. So I hope this helps you. I hope this makes sense. Again, there are people that, I have 2 sisters. We're all different. I am the butterfly. My middle sister is more same job, same husband, she's moved a couple times, but pretty much same house. She stays put. That's where she's happy. She's more of a homebody. And my middle sister is my baby sister's kind of a combination of the two of us. She's in the same house, but she's changed jobs a couple times. She's not married to her first husband anymore. But she likes to travel. She doesn't do it like I do, but that's okay. There's no judgment. Everybody's different. So them looking at me like I'm never settled. And they do. But that's okay. To me, their life is boring. But that's what they enjoy. That's their life. That's not for me to judge. So don't judge anybody. And for God's sake, don't let them judge. If they want to judge you, that's their limiting beliefs. That's their whatever. You be you. But enjoy the sweetness of every flower you land on. Even if it's a single flower. If you enjoy it, enjoy it. If you're not enjoying that flower, change flowers. But transform from the caterpillar to the butterfly. Learn to fly on your own. Be filled first. Because no other flower, no other existence, no other butterfly can fill you until you fill yourself. No, that didn't even come out right. You have to fill yourself before they can compliment you. Otherwise, you're looking for them to fill you. There is no compliment because you're pulling from them, and you're not ever going to be happy because there's no amount of anything they can give you or do for you to fill you until you're full yourself. You know, it didn't matter what any of my prior husbands did for me. And my current husband doesn't have to do anything for me to make me feel complete. I already feel complete. He compliments me. He doesn't complete me. So anyway, I hope this helps. Again, like the video, subscribe to my channel if you have not. It doesn't cost anything. I don't bug you. Share it, because there's people out there that are being judged and they feel like there's something wrong with them. You know, if you're that butterfly, if you're flitting around from flower to flower to flower and people are judging you, and you feel like there's something wrong with you, no. There is nothing wrong with you. Enjoy the sweetness of every flower. But learn to fill yourself. Fill your cup. Figure out what flower you like. So anyway, I send you guys so much love. I send you so much light. So many blessings. Whatever flower you're on, whether it's your first and only, or it's your millionth flower, enjoy it to its fullest. And if you're not enjoying it, move to another flower. It's your choice. So I love you. Have an amazing day, and we will talk soon.